Good Sunday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. I am your meteorologist, Jesse Peterson. Let's go on and talk about the weather for your Sunday evening going into your future. We have some stuff that we're going to talk about tonight. But first, before we get into that, if you have not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. Right now, we have around a good 6 people in here, and 6 likes right now. So it seems like everyone has hit the like button so far. But if you are a part of that, of a little group that for some reason YouTube may not have caught, that have not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. It's free. You can change your mind anytime. Also, hit the subscribe button as well. Subscribe. If you are new and you've never hit the subscribe button before, we're at 645, and we are 5 subscribers away from that halfway mark of 650 subscribers. Also, we're 55 away from the actual main goal. 55 away from the main goal of 700 subscribers. So that's what is first. What are we going to talk about next? Well, what are we going to talk about tonight, just in general? Uh, well, we will go on and talk about the weather for what's currently going on. We also will talk about the weather for tonight, just in general. Also for the short-term future, for the long-term future, and then we will also talk about the weather for this week, as that's going to be the main thing we're going to talk about from December the 28th going all the way into January the 3rd. And so that will go all the way through from today going all the way through Saturday into the new year. So let's go on now and first start off with what is currently going on throughout the state of South Carolina right now. And that is, there's absolutely nothing. We do, in fact, have some fog going on up here in the upstate. Patchy dense fog causing visibility at or below a half a mile is expected to continue intermittently through at least the first part of tonight. Some brief improvement can be expected before midnight, before visibility worsens again thereafter. Visibility may change suddenly or over short distances. Increase following distance. Turn on your low beam headlights. Drive cautiously. And so that's for up here in the upstate, from Rock Hill to Greenville to Spartanburg to Boiling Springs, over there to Simpsonville, Lawrence, Whitmer, over there near Clemson and Anderson. So these areas over here have to watch out for some fog. But that's obviously not the main thing going on throughout the entire U.S., at least, as we do, in fact, have a line of some gusty winds, line of even some severe thunderstorms right now going on throughout from Ohio, throughout Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas, and Texas. We also do have some rainfall with some sleet going on over here in the Northeast. Same thing with some rainfall going on in Michigan. There's some snowfall going on all the way from the UP in Michigan over inside of Wisconsin, Minnesota, the Dakotas, Iowa, and Illinois. We also do have some snowfall going on in Montana, Washington, and then some rainfall as well. Now, what's going on in terms of our cloud cover? Well, cloud cover right now, obviously, we have some cloud cover obviously going on in the upstate. We know that because fog is ongoing and will continue to ongo. But cloud cover will go on up there. We also may have some low clouds going on near like the PD area and the Grand Strand from Myrtle Beach over towards Florence, and then over there into the low country as well. We also do have some cloud cover going on over there. And then you go on over even to like the western Midlands as well. You see some more cloud cover ongoing over there. But look in the middle area. You can see like you have like some cloudless areas going on over there from the southern Midland area, the very western low country area. It seems like a little bit clear where that clear spot is. And it looks like that there are definitely clear spots going on throughout the state, but we seem to be mostly cloudy. We go even further into the future. We start off here at 9 o'clock. We push this forward and look at this thunderstorm activity, not thunderstorm, cloud cover activity that is going on. We go all the way through tonight. And then we have some more cloud cover activity that continues all the way into tomorrow morning. That cloud cover activity goes on all the way throughout the Midlands, going on throughout the upstate, going on throughout the low country, the PD, the Grand Strand as well. And then we continue to push this forward even more. And then finally we get to this is around 10 o'clock p.m. right here tomorrow. And it looks like that this cloud cover will try to move its way out, move its way off. So we have like a good 24 hours left until all this cloud cover will try to move its way off. And this is right here. This is Tuesday afternoon. Nice and clear. Nice and clear. Clear skies are on the way back. So what about our current temperatures? Current temperatures right now, 61 in Somerville as well as 60 in Charleston. We also do have around 61 in Beaufort, 63 in Orangeburg, and 60 in Georgetown, 60 in Murray's Inlet, and 60 also inside of Myrtle Beach, 59 inside of Conway as well as 60 in North Myrtle Beach, 63 in Orangeburg, and 64 in Aiken, 58 also up there in Columbia as well as 58 in Florence, 54 in Bennettsville as well as 53 in Lancaster, 50 Gaffney, York, in Rock Hill, and even Spartanburg, 53 in Clemson, and 55 in Anderson, 52 also inside of Greenville. Now, in terms of your low temperatures for tonight, you have around 50 in Spartanburg as well as 48 in Rock Hill, 51 also inside of Greenville, and 55 in Anderson, 55 also in Newberry, and 58 in Columbia, 57 in Sumter, and 56 in Florence, as well as even around Kingstree in Georgetown could also be 56, 59 in Charleston, Walterboro, Hilton Head Island, Orangeburg, Barnwell, Moncks Corner, all these areas all near 59, and then maybe even also around a good 58 over there near Myrtle Beach. High temperatures for tomorrow, 60 inside of Greenville as well as 62 in Spartanburg, 63 in Newberry, and 67 also from Columbia to Camden to Orangeburg to Barnwell, 69 in Sumter, 70 inside of Kingstree, and 71 also in Georgetown, 69 in Charleston, and 70 in Hilton Head Island and Myrtle Beach. And so you can see how as we get into tomorrow, those coastal areas, those low country areas, the PD, the Grand Strand area, staying relatively warmer than the upstate. Rainfall as we move all the way through tonight, going into tomorrow and tomorrow night, 1/10 of an inch to a 1/10 of an inch for a lot of the areas, and then maybe even a 1/10 of an inch to a 1/4 of an inch ongoing potentially for the border area from South Carolina going into North Carolina. So it seems like it's mostly on a more isolated to scattered area that can potentially get a 1/10 of an inch to a 1/4 of an inch of rainfall. Now for the crazy score. If you have no idea what the crazy score is, it is a score that we see how crazy the weather is inside of the state of South Carolina. And right now, we're at a 13. We are at a 13. No, I'm not going live for a 13. 13's inside the calm category. Why are we at a 13? Well, mainly because, there's no significant weather. Only maybe some subtle cloud increase. Fog cover definitely is going to be a bit of an issue. But after that, no significant weather. We move on all the way into the SPC outlook for tonight. Thunderstorms not expected tonight, tomorrow, or Tuesday. Excessive rainfall, you can probably guess it. Excessive rainfall not expected at this time. So let's go and look at the models now. We're going to start off here at 9 o'clock p.m. And if you go in and push this forward right here, you can see the cold front right there trying to move its way through. 3 o'clock in the morning here. We have the cold front now going through eastern Tennessee, going in throughout northwestern Georgia. And you can see as you move all the way to 4 to 5 a.m., that rainfall starting to move its way up inside of the upstate. And there goes the cold front now, 6 a.m. here. Over here, still moving throughout the upstate, bringing some moisture with it. But not a lot. Not a lot at all. After that cold front really gets through the upstate, it really starts to calm down. We get even to around 9 o'clock in the morning here. And we have some more rainfall that's trying to move its way through. All the way to 11 o'clock in the morning, you have some rainfall on the backside. You have some rainfall on the backside. That moves its way through all the way from the Midlands all the way throughout towards like the PD area as well. And then that moves all the way to 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m., and 5 p.m. And then finally, it moves out of there by around 5 p.m. So we're just seeing some more isolated shower and downpour activity. Now, one thing that I do see here is the models are saying the same thing that it said yesterday, last night to be exact, about how it had all this shower activity going on throughout the low country, throughout the Midlands as well, going throughout the Grand Strand areas. But if you go in and check it out, and check out what the outlook they put out, the actual forecast has nothing. So is it too low confidence? Is it just not heavy enough in their opinion? Well, right now it looks like that they really only think up there in the National Weather Service that the only chance will be up there inside of the far upstate. But, I do want to say, though, if you want to look at it, it's like the lightest of the lightest in terms of rainfall for some of these areas, like only like 1/100 of an inch. So, Again, possibly could be due to low confidence, but we'll have a better understanding why tomorrow morning when the models get more together and when they get their outlooks more together. And so pretty much that's it for that little time frame. After that, though, we go all the way past, all the way into the 30th, and we stay nice and dry. Now, as we go into the long-term future here, we have it at around 7 o'clock p.m. on December the 30th. You want to push this forward right here. Rainfall starts to finally move its way throughout the second, going on throughout the third as well. And then you go all the way throughout towards like the fourth. You have some rainfall. That kind of lingers a little bit longer, but it goes all the way by around the fourth and the fifth. We go all the way to the 7th and the 8th, and we'll look at the patterns as well. We'll look at all of that. Since it is a week forecast, we'll look at all of that. Here, January the 8th comes along. We have some more rainfall trying to move its way through. I'm pretty sure that already is past the week yet. It goes all the way out to the 3rd. But like I said, we stay dry all the way until like the 3rd. So, just for this week in general, it looks like we're just going to start off with some rainfall, as we go all the way throughout tonight going into tomorrow. But then after that, we stay dry for the majority of the week until we get towards like the end of the week. So that's what it looks like in terms of rainfall for this week just in general. And if we go on and look, at what the actual precipitation looks like, I don't think anybody should be shocked when it shows below average precipitation. Below average precipitation. And so what does this mean in terms of the drought? Obviously not great things. Drought is currently ongoing throughout most of the upstate, a good amount of the western low country and the southern Midlands right now. And we have an abnormally dry, not a drought, but it is ongoing with dry conditions throughout most of the low country, most of the Midlands. And the only area that's not really included is the Grand Strand and parts of the PD area. So not the greatest of greatest, but if you wanted some relief in terms of temperatures, it looks like it's almost going to kind of be like a little bit of a split, more towards like the coastal areas. Those are your more below average region in terms of below average temperatures for this time of year. And then up here in the upstate, unfortunately, still having some above average temperatures for this time of year. And so not really going to help out, again, with that drought. We'll go on and look at the temperatures individually in just a second. I do want to go on and finish off with our long-term model first for our rainfall. But we go past, like we were just at the 3rd and the 4th. We continue this forward even more. I'm just seeing a bunch of cold fronts trying to move their way through, but not too much in terms of rainfall until around like the 8th and the 9th. Maybe again on the like 10th and the 11th. And then as we go into around like the 12th-ish or so, another big cold air blast maybe trying to move its way through on the 12th, going into the 13th potentially. So that's what we're looking at in terms of our long-term future. Now, we just looked at all this stuff in terms of our cold fronts and all of our warm air and all that kind of stuff. But as we continue to go our way forward, there goes the cold front right there, pushing its way through, brushing all of that cold air throughout. We go all the way through the 30th, all the way throughout the 31st, going all the way throughout as well New Year's Day. And we stay cooler than average during the nighttime hours, but during the day, it seems like it wants to try and get a little bit above average, and then we'll slowly get more above average as we get throughout the week. But it seems like some more cooler air might try to move its way through as we go after into like early next week. Some cool air will try to move its way through. Midweek, it tries to stay more inside of the warmer air, but obviously, as we were looking at earlier, as we get into like the 8th and the 9th, that system may move in. But even though that system moves in, it seems like that it's still warmer than average. Still warmer than average as we go into around January the 8th. So just something to look at there. But that's all I have to say here really in terms of the temperature. It just seems like we don't really get cool again until we get into like middle part of January. So for like some part of January, at least after the first couple of days, we will be seeing some warmer than average temperatures. And so that's why we have the outlook the way how it is right now. And why we have it to where we are kind of in the middle, above average up there inside the upstate, more in the middle in like the Midland areas, and then over here inside the low country, the Grand Strand areas, maybe even the eastern PD areas, more below average. And so I do want to go and look at the JMA. Let me go and switch this real quick because I do want to show you the patterns as well for this week. We start off right here. Actually, I'm going to go to the GFS instead. Start off here on the 28th. And you see as you push this forward, there goes the main cold front that we're looking at. I'm going to go and get my pen out real quick. But as you go in and push this forward all the way through, throughout the 29th, I'm going to get my red pen out right here. You can see this, oops. This right here, this is where the warm front is. That's why, you know, it may get like a little bit warmer before the front moves in. You got the warm front all the way up there. You go and you have the cold front all the way down there. You have it moving across, and that's what's causing this severe weather throughout areas. Went throughout Indiana, went throughout Illinois, going throughout Ohio, you know, Kentucky, Tennessee, potentially, Arkansas, potentially. But that's why we had all this severe weather. It's due to this system that we have right here. And so that's what's also going to bring us our cooler than average temperatures as we go into the start of the week. Now, that's going to push its way through. We have this still going on over here inside the Northeast, but they're starting to get a lot warmer over here in the West, and they're seeing a lot more like drier activity. You continue that forward even more all the way to around January the 1st, going into January the 2nd. You can see starting to get like a little bit of a ridge starting to form there around January the 1st. And if we go into the precipitation, you can see it, how they're starting to get a little bit more drier, especially in this area right around here. But back to where we just were. You push this forward even more all the way throughout January the 3rd. You have another like little area trying to move its way through. Definitely still some active activity going on. You see all like the more darker colors. That's the more active activity. If we go on and look back at it, you see some stuff going on over there inside of the West due to this little system that's approaching over here with the blue area. And so the green area over here, that's where the ridge is. All of the storm system is going to move in, bring in some more active activity out there in the West, and then that's just going to continue to move its way across the line. And you can see how that low pressure kind of moves its way through, brings like almost like a little like bowling ball, which is why they call it a bowling ball trough, because it looks like a bowling ball as it moves its way down. And that's the same one that we were just talking about as we go into January the 8th, about how this little system might try to move in, might try to bring us some rainfall. Wouldn't really do anything in terms of our temperatures, but it definitely was bringing us a good amount of rainfall. And so that's, you know, just one thing that I do look at just to see what's going on there. Another thing that I also do want to look at as well is this right here. This is the geopotential height. This pretty much is the same thing that I just showed you, but more on a more kind of a more simplistic scale. Like the more bluer areas, those are the low pressure. That's like the more cool areas, the more active areas, and the red is the more warmer and the more drier areas. And so same thing right here. This is the system right here that's bringing us our cold front right there, December the 29th. Make sure you're paying attention to that time. That moves its way through. Have some warm and drier weather going on over here, while we have some dreary weather going on over here in the east. And then as it continues to push its way through, it will continue. And you can just see these low pressures coming in over and over again. Same thing right we were talking about here on January the 8th, about that system from kind of like the west moved its way over to the east, bringing us those not really cooler temperatures, but definitely warmer temperatures, but just more active conditions just in general. And so that's what we're looking at just in terms of patterns, though. I mean, just a lot, like a lot. So, you know, there's a lot of meteorology into that. But I hope everyone understood what I was saying throughout that whole motion. You really do need to be paying attention to the time, though, if you really did want to get it. But that's all that I had to say there in terms of the long-term future. What's going on now in terms of the audience? If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see what the audience has to say for tonight. Starting off, Mr. Grith was here first. Tonight, he says, "Good evening, everyone. Hope you had a great day. Day could have been better. You know, there were some ups and downs here and there, but for the most part, everything was good for the most part. My Outlaw says, "Good evening, everyone. Good evening to you." Mr. Anthony says, "Good evening, everyone. Good evening to you." Mr. Chris comes back and says current temperature here in Moncks Corner is around 60. Right now where I am, it's around 58. That's what my older weather station says. The newer one says 59. So they're a little bit off, but probably like a degree or less. Back over here. My Aunt Lewis says, I pray that everyone have a blessed day. Thank you so much for that. And then Mr. Michael comes in and says, hopefully everyone has a safe New Year's Eve and a blessed, fantastic New Year. Well, thank you so much for that. I do appreciate that. My Aunt Lewis says today in Georgetown it was bearable. It was just right. Just right. You know, in terms of me being outside, I mean, I was only really outside for the morning, going into like the early afternoon. I wasn't really outside past that. I was inside for the majority of the day today. My name says, hello, Jay, a sad day today. Well, I hope that it gets better as the week progresses. Then my Aunt Lewis says it was gloomy and a lot of clouds, but no rainfall. Same thing over here to where I was, no rainfall for me, but some cloud cover. Mr. Chris says this is going to be great to have another day of warm weather. Well, for now, in terms of those warm temperatures, absolutely. But those temperatures as we go into tomorrow night, those are going to be pretty cold. And so obviously with that cold front moving through, that will cause some more freezing temperatures down the 20s for some. Again, maybe high 20s, but for the most part, especially up there inside the upstate, it's going to be definitely going to be freezing up there. My cousin Cheryl comes in and says, good evening, weatherman. Good evening, everyone. Hope you all are enjoying your holiday and may God continue to bless you. And next year would be better for all of us. Weatherman, do your thing. Absolutely. A lot of things coming for the channel as well next year. A lot of things coming up for the channel next year. So make sure that you stay tuned for that. Mr. Chris said it was very nice here in Moncks Corner. Started off a little cloudy, but cleared up nicely. It didn't clear up here at all, really. He also said I've been watching Ryan Hall today, and he was live with those severe storms and tornadoes. I did watch a little bit of it. I watched a little bit of it for the most part. And I did watch his coverage where there was a couple of tornado warnings out there here and there. But for the most part, I didn't really watch too much of it. He also said just hoping that there is no moisture coming in with that cold front. I mean, yes, there will be some moisture with it, obviously. And there will be potentially some gusty winds with it. Obviously, that's with every cold front. But it mainly will be up there inside the upstate. The upstate will be the area that will mainly have to watch out for that moisture. And then Charles says, greetings everyone, raining day here most of the day. Well, thank you so much for that weather report to where you are, and greetings to you. And that's all that I can see here in terms of the audience for tonight. So I'll come back to the audience, but first, before we get back to the audience, let's go on and talk about the 4 locations outside of South Carolina. What are those 4 locations? Being San Antonio, Texas, Raleigh, North Carolina, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, as well as Duncan, Oklahoma. The reason why we talk about these areas is because we have people from these areas who tune in almost nightly, and because they tune in almost nightly, we go on and give their forecast. So we're going to start off here with San Antonio, Texas being first. Low temperatures tonight, 47. High temperatures tomorrow at 51, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 41. Slight chance of showers tonight. It will be breezy tonight as well. But overall tomorrow night, no precipitation, nothing really going on there. In terms of severe weather and excessive rainfall, looks like right now that is really just nothing in terms of both excessive rainfall and severe weather. So nothing for you to worry about here. And in terms of stuff for your future, as well, if I go on and look that back up, oh, there it is right there. It looks like for the most part that you're going to try and stay warm, but it's not really going to last too long, though. Like tomorrow, high temperature is 51, Tuesday 58, and then it will slowly warm back up. Wednesday 64, New Year's Day 71, 77 on Saturday, 82 on Friday. So it will warm back up for sure. So now what about Raleigh, North Carolina? Low temperatures tonight at 50, high temperatures tomorrow at 68, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 29. Slight chance of rainfall tonight, chance of rainfall tomorrow. Breezy as well as we go into tomorrow. Patchy fog will definitely be a concern as you go into tonight. And then in terms of fire activity, there actually is a big fire risk, and it's not only for Raleigh but also for South Carolina as well. Probably should have mentioned that. But for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, Raleigh has a risk for some fire, a little fire risk right here. And if you still are inside of South Carolina, you still tuned in, you probably should stay tuned for a little bit. I'm going to talk about that fire risk in a second. But there will be a fire risk as you go into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Other than that, though, no severe weather in terms of like thunderstorm activity. And then in terms of for your future, in terms of that temperatures, and also for just rainfall in general, it looks like that you're gonna be below freezing going to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, New Year's Day. You'll try to warm up a little bit, but you'll see them to just stay in the 50s. Then now to Philadelphia, you have low temperatures tonight at 36, high temperatures tomorrow at 54, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 27. Chance of rainfall tonight, showers tomorrow. Areas of fog will also happen tomorrow morning, and it will be breezy tomorrow night, but no precipitation tomorrow night. And in terms of stuff for your future, will continue to be breezy as well. Go through Monday night, Tuesday, it will continue to be breezy. You'll still stay cold. Like New Year's Day, you have a high temperature of 33. So it's going to be, again, just cold as we get more and more into the new year. And then in terms of severe weather, excessive rainfall, nothing for you either, so you're good there. Finally, we have Duncan, Oklahoma, low temperatures tonight at 26, high temperatures tomorrow at 43, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 20. Precipitation, severe weather, precipitation, excessive rainfall is not expected. Fire weather for tonight going into tomorrow and for Tuesday. So you're going to have to watch out for some fire critical or elevated fire weather conditions, as that will be a main concern. In terms of stuff for your future, it will continue to warm up as you get more and more to the new year as well. And so I do want to show you this right now, because this is also for South Carolina as well. You move right here. This is tomorrow. This right here, this is for tomorrow. Let me get there right here. If I can go on and move this. There we go. All right, so right here, Friday, fire weather outlook for Monday, for tomorrow, December the 29th. We do, in fact, have a elevated fire weather concern. That's mainly just up there for the upstate. But as you continue to move your way forward all the way past Monday going into Tuesday, it spreads all the way down towards that coastal low-country region. And then the entire state's covered. The entire state is covered with fire weather concern. And the same thing all the way for Wednesday as well. But it's a little bit more off of the coast. But it can spread. It can definitely spread. It's still 3 days out. So we still have a little bit to look at there. But for right now, I do think that we definitely have to watch this. If you don't have to burn anything as we go throughout, Monday, if you're in the upstate, Tuesday and Wednesday, definitely don't. As the fire weather conditions will be up high. And so critical conditions will definitely be something that we're going to have to watch out for. And so that's pretty much all I had to say there. What's going on throughout the entire U.S. in terms of weather news? Well, a rapidly intensifying storm is expected to bring heavy snow, blizzard conditions, and icing from the upper Midwest through the Great Lakes and the Northeast. Scattered severe thunderstorms may also produce severe/damaging wind gusts and a couple of tornadoes across parts of the Midwest and the lower Ohio Valley through the evening. Arctic air will expand across the central and the southern U.S. as well. And so just a lot of stuff going on. I mean, we're going to see blizzard conditions. We're going to see some wind, like some gusty winds go all the way from Iowa, all the way through Illinois, through Kentucky, through Tennessee, through North Carolina, through South Carolina, through Alabama, through Georgia, through Mississippi, through Louisiana, through Texas. I mean, just everybody from this cold front will receive breezy conditions as we go throughout the next day or two. And so just make sure that you're watching out for that as well. Let me check out the chat. Mr. Chris said everyone have a safe night. Stay warm and hydrated. Absolutely. And would that be a red flag alert? It just matters on how dry it is. And right now, I don't think it's dry enough for a red flag warning. I know up there inside of North Carolina, they have a red flag warning up. And theirs it matters based off of their standards and their code for it. So like if, for example, they require a 15% relative humidity and we require 10% and it's 13, well, they would issue one, but we wouldn't. And so there seems to be around 20%, gusts of up to around 35 miles per hour. And you can even go on and look at the dew points, for example, and see how much it drops just as you go throughout. This cold front right here. Just see how far down it drops, and then in terms of those winds as well, those winds will also be kicking. But that's just what I wanted to show here, so make sure that you watch out for that fire weather concern as we go throughout the beginning of the week. And so that's all that I have to say. Nothing else for me. So it was, wow, a good 30 minutes tonight. A very long forecast tonight. So I'm going to go on and get up out of here. If you have not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. It's free. You can change your mind at any time. And also hit the subscribe button if you have not already. We're at 645, trying to get to 755 away from that main goal. And then right now we are 5 away. Yes, 5 subscribers away from that halfway marker of 650. So let's go on and continue to march our way there. And we will be back tomorrow morning, Monday morning forecast update. And make sure that you tune in Thursday. Thursday evening is going to be a huge evening. Thursday evening is going to be huge. We're going to have the January forecast and we're going to have the drought monitor come out all on the same day. So Thursday is going to be a big day. So make sure that you're there for that. But we'll be live every other night or every night as well from 9 o'clock p.m. And so that's all. So make sure you tune back in tomorrow, like I said, and make sure before you leave, you hit those 2 buttons.